So India is celebrating and commemorating the progressive 75 years of India after independence with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and promulgating the mission of warranting women as empowered women and empowered nation. The need to improve women's participation in the economy has been a long-standing priority and is also crucial towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. A report by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy shows the labor participation rate of rural women was only 9.92% in March 2022 as compared to 67.24% for men. With continuous dodging between different types of work to earn livelihood even with low pay and a tough working condition, one can refer to such a women worker as compulsory workers whose work never ends. So this is the condition actually. Most of the time we can see that the percentage of these kind of condition is very high, and with the rural economy constituting a significant part of India's national income, there is a need to look into the issue of rural women and take urgently actions actually. It need urgent action in this field. So question is that what are the various challenges faced by rural women workers? Because as we know, then the percentage of rural women workers is very high. So if I'm talking about the mechanization of rural economy, so with the arrival of high-tech machines in the agriculture sector, so its operation have become less labor intensive and resulted in a decrease in working days to less than 3 months a year. So it forced many rural women to migrate and become part-time construction workers. So like if incomplete presentation of data that a woman who stopped looking for work due to the belief that no work is available are wrongly described as women dropping out or leaving the market, and it showcasing as a choice rather than a compulsion forced upon them. Hence because in the rural economy suffer absence of pay parity. So in the field of manual labor work, women are being paid less than men in terms of piece rate due to physical constants in lifting heavy weights. So one particular project in Kalaburagi district of Karnataka, which focuses on creation of percolation ponds, since the digging of ponds required lifting about 3,000 kilogram of mud a day, and women were not able to meet the targets. They didn't get the piece rate of 309 rupees. They got only 280 to 285 rupees. And second is a lack of education, we can say. So majority of women construction workers are not registered as construction workers, and therefore ineligible for any benefit accruing to them from the construction worker welfare board. So the paid formal jobs go to men and women with the higher educational qualification, so leaving women with education till secondary level for non-agriculture, construction, house care and other roles. And there is a one reason behind this, and that's limitation of Manrega. As we know that Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, in short Manrega, a labor demand driven program, is limited to providing only 100 days of paid labor on public workers and public works projects, per year. So for the rest of the period, women workers have to continuously look for alternative source of income, meet expenses. So that's the main reason. And there are one reason is also behind this, a lack of nutritious food, we can say. So the high prices of essential commodities have led to a huge cut in women's consumption of vegetables and pulses. So lack of nutritious food is there. So the deprivation of nourishment that women face due to high prices and a low income is another dimension of the compulsory women workers' life. And due to patriarchal society, boys are given relatively more nutritious food as they are deemed breadwinners of the family, especially if the family is poor and is not in a position to provide nutritious food to all the children. And financially, constant is there. So what the women earn from multiple tasks for which there are no fixed rate is no equal to the amount of labor they do. So due to non-availability of sufficient funds and a lack of knowledge, they are most vulnerable to land in debt traps. Question is that what initiatives have been taken from the upliftment, for rural women workers, especially for rural women workers. So, like e-Shram portal, if I'm talking about, Ministry of Labor and Employment launched the e-Shram portal. The aim is to register 38 crore unorganized workers, such as construction laborers and migrant workforce, street vendors, and domestic workers, among others. If a worker is registered on the e-Shram portal and meets with an accident, so in that case he will be eligible for 2 lakh on death or permanent disability and rupee 1 lakh on partial disability. Other is Mahila Kisan Shashaktikaran Pariyojana. So also a Ministry of Rural Development launched in 2011 this yojana. So aim is to impart skill development and capacity building program for rural women. So this scheme was introduced as a component of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, like a national rural livelihood mission, and it's implemented through state rural livelihood mission across India. So under this scheme, training on use of latest agriculture, allied technique and agroecological best practices are being imparted to women farmers through the community. And resource persons and extension agencies is there. Other is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So that is the most important yojana of the Indian government. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana and Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship implemented this yojana in 2015. It provides several short duration skill training program and short term training also, and a recognition of prior learning. So for rural youth and women to earn their livelihood. So government schemes, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana is a placement, a linked skill development program for wage employment for rural youth. This yojana is designed especially for rural youth. And there is a Biotech Krishi Innovation Science Application Network program. So it's launched by Department of Biotechnology under the Ministry of Science and Technology. It's initiated the Biotech Kisan program, and it provides scientific solution to farmers in the northeast region to link available innovative agriculture technologies to the farm with the small and marginal farmers. And it's especially for women farmers of the region. Another is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, in short PMJDY. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana had boosted confidence and prospects of rural women participation in economic activities. So the Jan Dhan campaign has ensured access to financial services. So it's like in a banking, saving and deposit account, the remittance, credit insurance, pension in an affordable manner to rural women. Apart from this, other initiatives are there, like Pradhan Mantri, Matru Vandan Yojana. So Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyanan Yojana. It's we can call the Submission on Agriculture Mechanization scheme. And a PM Kisan scheme is there. So what should be the way forward survey conduction? What should be the way forward? If I'm talking about the survey conduction, so timely village surveys should be conducted which could reveal the real image of ground reality as with the deep penetration of capitalist process in rural India. There is crisis of livelihood option for rural workers. We will spread surveys of poor rural women and how they spend their time are an urgent necessity. So besides this, adult education and training is there. So one of the greatest barriers to the sustainable development of women is their lack of access to quality adult education and training. Like capacity building and adult training, range from providing adult education, life and social skill training. So when women have access to quality, holistic, personal, emotional and entrepreneurial development training opportunities, they will be empowered to speak for themselves. Like if I'm talking about in a health point of view, so women are primarily vulnerable to every form of health issue in different communities. individuals, organizations, and agencies can design projects that focus on providing affordable health and health care and training for women on healthy living. So getting and taking clean water, keeping the clean and green environment, and it's access to basic monthly menstrual care and maternal care. It's very important actually. In that case, if I'm talking about that extension of Pradhan Mantri Kisan scheme, the annual cash transfer of 6,000 to landowning farmers under Pradhan Mantri Kisan scheme, it should be extended to rural, landless laborers also. In that condition, if I'm talking about that minimum wages, so there should be a strict implementation of minimum wages, with the piece rates fixed for different type of women's labor. And Manrega standards. So the performance standards set under Manrega should be established, gender-wise, and the work site made more worker-friendly. And compulsory women workers must be recognized and protected by laws and policies that address her issues. Okay, so that is the actually condition, and different programs and schemes is launched by Indian government. Thanks for watching.